What's up, Toronto? Nah, let's try that again. You guys done hip hop hooray and all of this kind of stuff. What's up, Toronto? Not good enough. One more time. What's up, Toronto? Or should I say, wake up, Toronto? Come on, guys. Okay, some of you may have seen me on this stage last year when I came to tell you guys about how we could change the economy here in Albania and create prosperity. I'm not going to be talking about that today. I'm not going to be telling you about how you manhandle prime ministers to get what you want, but I do want a message to you that it's not just about passion, okay? It's not just about commitment. And, again, Habib talked about the distance between where you are and where you want to be is going to be covered by what you do. But how relentless are you? Now, yesterday I was at Startup Grind and we were talking and we talked about reverse engineering. And it's important that you look into the future, crystallize what it is that you want, and work back to where you are today. Stop looking forward. Start planning your future back to today, because it will tell you exactly what you need to do. And that's how you stay on your path. Now, I'm going to be talking today about digitizing or dying. But I'm going to introduce to you how other countries are future planning. They've already visualized everything. And they're bringing digital revolutions into their countries faster than others can imagine. Habib talked about the volume of data that we consume or create is down to what? What did you say, 2 days or 2 hours? How long will it take before we're down to 2 hours for that level of data? It's becoming faster and faster and faster. If you don't keep up, you will die. Guess what I'm going to talk to you about? The history of Industrial Revolution. So thanks, Fatih, for taking all my slides, basically. But that's what entrepreneurs do, hey? We hustle and we have to just make do with what we have there. I'm going to talk about going digital, go bust, and we're going to talk about how. How do you create digital transformation in your business, in your life? So corporates, startups, SMEs, I want you to pay attention, because I'm not going to tell you what you've got to do. I'm going to show you how you do it. And then we're going to talk about the future. But I want you to remember this one thing. Don't leave today thinking about what your future is going to look like. I want you to stop dreaming. I want you to start designing. I want you to go out there and say, in the next 2 years, this is what I'm going to have. This is what it looks like. These are the kind of people I'm going to work with. This is the amount of money I'm going to make. It's not this, who wants to be a millionaire? It's like, when are you going to become a millionaire? Set yourself accountabilities. Work back to where you are today. And believe me, that plan will execute. I'm the kind of guy that in the last 7 years have gone from losing my job to having 5 companies, selling and touring around the world. And people go, how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just do it. But the truth of it is, it all comes from visualizing it, manifesting it, and working back to where we are today. So, thank you very much, Fatih, for doing my first slides. We like to delegate all these kind of things, basically. So I'm not going to take you through the industry disruptions. But there is one thing that I want to talk about, and that's in the 2030s. That's what's coming up. Flexible and integrated value chains. We are becoming more and more connected with all the different technologies. It's not, we talked about robotics. There are stories about a man who wants to create a machine that he can have babies with. Let me say that again. He wants to create babies with robots. Crazy? Stupid? Possible? Yes to all of them, right? Crazy, stupid, but possible. We live in a world where you can sound crazy, you can sound stupid, but guess what? Everyone knows at the back of their mind, that might just be possible. Every business has the potential to be a digital business. There are smart, connected products and services everywhere today. It's taking corporations too long to get onto the digital transformation ladder. Should I tell you why? Because they're very big, they're very static, they're very robust. But do you know what the biggest part about this is? Is they fear the success. They fear the success of what's going to happen because it changes the whole dynamic. Why is it that Facebook could get to $1 billion valuation in a fraction of the time compared to a company that's been going for 100 years? Because they're agile, they're lean. Apple, great information of the fact that they give their patents or open their patents up. Why? Because it keeps them on the edge. Guess what happens when you go into large organizations? You become complacent, you become used to everything. How many of you work in a corporate? Yeah. How many of you got a desk? How many of you got your own coffee mug? How many of you got your own little seat where you go and have your lunch every day? How many of you, if I took your desk, your coffee mug, and your chair away, the next morning when you come to work, will think, what the hell's going on? Am I fired? How many would think that? See? You don't fear change, you fear success. Entrepreneurs are those that embrace change. That's why we're doing it in the first place. We want change. We drive for that. We feed for it. We're hungry. And digital is one of the biggest parts of that. Any digital instrument right now can elevate you from being a nothing to a something. But you've got to be savvy about it. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a strategy. And you've got to remember, it's not about you becoming more digital. It's more about understanding that the customer is becoming more digital. How many of you got a smartphone? How many of you do e-commerce? How many of you use Amazon? How many of you watch on YouTube? How many of you got Netflix accounts? Everything is being consumed more digitally today than it ever was. And if you are not part of that revolution, you're going to die. So, what's the question that I want to ask you? If you don't go digital, do you go bust? Anyone heard about what happened with the toy store chain, Toys R Us?
It got bankrupt.
Sorry?
Bankrupt.
Toys R Us were a massive US chain for toys. Okay? Big superstores, hundreds of thousands of employees all over the world. Even in the UK, we had Toys R Us. And what happened is up popped Amazon one day, and they said, do you know what we can do? We can increase the number of people that buy your toys if you allow us to sell your toys at Amazon. Digitalization on an analog player. Toys R Us didn't see the opportunity. Amazon started to take more and more customers. There is a statistic that goes that if you take 20% of your customers and drive them through e-commerce, they will spend 13% more with you on an ongoing basis. 20% of your existing customer base will spend 13% more just because you let them buy digitally. And over a period of time, this iceberg was eroding underneath Toys R Us. Toys R Us are now, through administration, they're closing down everywhere. And why? Because they failed to digitize. They failed to see the opportunity. And giants like Amazon will come and they'll do this. How many of you have heard of Doorbot before? Anyone heard of Doorbot? Yeah? Good. For those of you who don't know what Doorbot was, this was pitched at Shark Tank, the US sort of dragon investment thing. Didn't make the money. Doorbot was a digital doorbell. Now, it was kind of funny because they didn't make the money, they didn't get the money, but they came back as a product called Ring, Ring.com. Okay? A digital doorbell. Yesterday, where I was sitting in Vienna on my way to Tirana, someone knocked on my doorbell, and I actually had a conversation with them off my phone. I could see them. This is what Ring brought to the market. They changed the way in which people will view security in their own home. And guess what happened? Ring became so popular network the underpin network of the usage, that Amazon came on and bought them for $1 billion cash. Now, why would Amazon want to buy Ring? What has Amazon got today? What is Amazon in the business of today? It's not retail, it's not e-commerce, it's voice, on demand. Smart home. Alexa. Anyone heard of Alexa? What's Alexa? Anyone got Alexa here? You guys don't know what you're missing, man.
It doesn't work in Albania.
It doesn't matter, just have a conversation with her.
Yeah?
Entrepreneurs are lonely sometimes, you know? We just, Alexa, yeah. See, when my wife doesn't talk to me, I talk to Alexa. And usually that's quite a lot of the time because I spend too much time in the office and not enough with her.
They talk to Siri.
They talk to Siri here. You talk to Siri, right? Yeah. So imagine this now. Amazon put out this little feeder into the market 6 months ago to say, would you let our couriers come into your house? Would you create a system that allows someone you don't know, that comes with a box that you don't know what's in there, goes and puts that inside your house? Most people are like, no way. But yet they've acquired Ring. Why? For this very notion that you will be able to do voice-activated opening of your door. If you're not at home, they'll ring the doorbell. If you say, yes, it's okay, because now you can see them, it will unlock your door so they can put the package inside. Amazon are the leaders and the pioneers in voice-activated services. Google's only catching up with them. Digitize or die. What's going to happen to the postal service after that? The standard post office, you know, the guy that comes in the shorts with the bag and putting through the letterbox, they're going to die if they don't digitize. So we've got to ask that question. Do you go digital or you die? Anyone been to Thailand before? Nice place. I had the privilege of speaking at MIT a couple of weeks ago, and I met the Minister of Digital and Society there, and he laid out this 20-year plan. It's not just about companies digitizing and transforming, it's about countries. They've already laid out their future plan. They know what they're going to achieve in the next 10 to 20 years, and they're already in to phase 2, which is the digital Thailand and inclusion. You've got to look ahead and reverse engineer back to where you are today. This is the only way you're going to know where your solid plan is. Phuket is turning into a smart city in 2020. It's one of the most prolific tourist places. They're changing the way in which people get in, connect, use, buy, sell, and live, all through technology. So, there is a thing that we call, which is a digitari. I can never say that word. It's all about digital maturity. How mature are you within your business? So MIT Sloan wrote a review, and they have these 3 pillars and what we call 9 blocks. And this is your transformation. If you are in business and you need to look at digital transformation, you need to consider these 3 pillars. First thing you've got to think about is transforming the customer experience, okay? Customer understanding is the most important thing. You think about the amount of technology and the access to technology we have. Today, we can drive customer behavior through the data that we pick up. The analytics, we know. How many of you shop on Amazon and, have shopped on Amazon? What happens when you go back onto Amazon? They show you things that you lost, or they suggest to you. This product, it's not a man sitting there going, oh, right, that's what you want. It's doing it by itself to you. It's robotic. It's suggesting to you. It's changing the behavior of what you buy. How many of you bought something on Amazon and then it says, most people that buy this also buy this? And you think, oh, if everyone else is buying that, I'm going to buy that as well. It's changing and driving your behavior by understanding the information that you're giving. You're always giving data. You're always giving information. Top line growth. In personal sales, banks today are using more things like iPads to draft through to increase the personal sales. People that go door to door are using more devices In the UK, we have people coming in to try and sell us things for charity or get donations. Guess what? You know, most people say, oh, I haven't got any cash. It's okay. You can just press here and pay by PayPal. Oh my God. You get a couple of beggars on the streets do that as well. They come out with like these pads now, basically. But technology is changing. And the way the customer touch point is changing as well. How much engagement are you having? There is a statistic that I'm going to bring up later for you anyway, but I'm going to tell you this now. Over 80% of customer interaction, first point of customer interaction, will be non-human by 2020. First customer action. If you are a business that is in the business of human connectivity and face-to-face, 80% is going to be non-human in the next 2 years. Are you ready? Transforming operational processes is all about taking that process of digitization. So it's understanding that you don't change everything. You bring things in a structured way. You create more worker enablement, which means that the people that you work with today, it's not just about human resource, it's about human outsource. You can globalize your business so fast. I have people that work in 11 different countries all at the same time for me. I don't have to be in those countries to work with them because technology allows me to connect with these people and work with these people. You can manage performances. You can understand this. HR directors, if you're in the house, it means that you don't even have to leave your office. You can see everything through the analytics of what's going on. But beyond this, you can start playing and modeling. You can start understanding what is the effectiveness and the productivity of your team, of your staff, of your employees. Not so you can sack them, but you can, or train them, but to understand, have I got the right person doing the right job? In 2015, it cost the UK economy £900 million for having the wrong people in the wrong jobs. How much do you think it's costing your economy for having the wrong people in the wrong job?
All the economy.
All the economy, exactly. And that's when we start talking about transforming business models. Digitally modified, we've got to start thinking completely differently. The way we source our customers, the way we engage our customers, the way we retain our customers, the loyalty we get of our staff. We talked about entrepreneurship and everyone's got an opportunity and everyone can be an entrepreneur and all this kind of stuff. But the main important point that you need to remember here is you are of an age which is digital. Millennials were introductions to digital. People like me in the 70s, we grew up with VCRs and tapes. And you're like, what the hell? I showed my children a CD. Do everyone know what a CD is? Yeah? I showed my children a CD. My son, he's 7. He goes, sorry, no, he's 10. Bloody hell, I should know that. He's 10. Sorry, son. My son's 10, and he goes, what is this? And I said, CD. He goes, what do you use it for? And I'm like, well, you listen to music. Oh, no, that's what we've got iPods and Spotify for, right? Frisbee. It's a Frisbee. It's a coffee mat for them. It's not good Frisbee. It can slice, basically. But my point being is we are moving. The generations are moving through and through and through. There is so much stuff which is becoming redundant, yet we feel like we have to hold on to these things because that's the only way that we know. And as Habib was saying, it's not about the fear of failure, it's the fear of success. What happens? You see, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you fail because you haven't changed. You're still in the same place. You're still experiencing the same things. You just think, it didn't work out, and you give yourself an excuse. Your ego tells you that it wasn't your fault when it is your fault. But the biggest thing most people fear is change, is the fear of success. What is it going to look like when we do reach that milestone? And that's a question that people can't answer. Shall I tell you why? Because they don't reverse engineer. They don't look into the future to come back to where we are today. I know what my future is going to look like because I reverse engineer it. I know exactly what I want, how I'm going to get it, when I'm going to get it. I knew exactly what I was going to do when I came to Tirana months and months ago, and I'm going to say, do you know what? We're going to call Ertan, and I'm going to say, Ertan, I'm in Tirana, because I know he's going to say, right, okay, would you like to come to Infocom? See, it's all planned, it's all premeditated, it's done in a particular way. You've got to plan your future, see your future, unlock your future, and that requires thinking digitally. So here's a quick matrix to think of where you are. Digitaries are the guys with high digital intensity and massive or great transformation management intensity. Most of us live in the world of fashionista and beginners. But there are conservative people who don't understand the digital intensity. That's where most corporations lie. They lie in the area of conservative. Their digital intensity isn't high, but they are prepared to transform. You are aware of brands like Starbucks and Nike. Nike and Starbucks have gone from the traditional consumer goods market and becoming digital leaders. They're changing the model of what they're in the business of. Technology isn't about changing your business, it's changing what you're in the business of and how you conduct your business. So you've got to think about where you start. Understand your customer. Are you ready? How ready are you for digital assessment? Have you done an assessment? How ready are you to make those changes? Who in your company, in your organization, can help you achieve these things? You've got to know where those spots are. And then build a strategy from there. And as I say, reverse engineering comes from there. Once you go in, you start creating those customer enrichments. Keep developing your talent. Yesterday, one of the sayings that I said is you shouldn't be in the business of profits. You've got to be in the business of building people. Build people, you build profits. And through the culture and the business technology sort of management stuff, you can now start to move. But it doesn't stop there. It's not just about employees. Habib talked about the different stuff, hierarchical, static, all these kind of flows, linear and closed. For example, leaders. If you're the leader of your business, your culture has to change. You've got to change alongside with it. It's no good trying to create a digital business if you haven't even changed your own mindset. You've got to be open to creativity. That's ideation. You've got to be open to innovation, which is transformation, and you have to have leadership, and that's culture. So here's a quick infographic of the UK automotive industry. By introducing digitalization, they reduced the parts inventory by 30%. They created a 2.6 billion benefit to their suppliers, increased productivity by 5%, benefit to vehicle manufacturers of 4.3 billion, machine downtimes were reduced by 40%, time to market was reduced by 30%. We're becoming more and more narrow just because of digitalization. It's a beast, it's coming. If you don't respond to it, you're gonna die. So by 2020, the customer managed will be 85% of its relationships with an enterprise without interacting human. How many of you have automation built into your funnel processes? How many of you capture data and then put them through an email process? How many of you actually know, then kind of segment your lists into different behaviors, different targets? This is really important because you as a consumer want more and more information which is specific to you. Digitalization does this. And this is the fact. 86% of buyers will pay more for a better customer experience, but only 1% feel that the current market can offer them. This is why Facebook does what it does. WhatsApp gets what they do. Amazon keeps winning. All these companies you hear over and over and over again. Why? Because they stay fresh, they're on the edge, and they're focused around their customer. And it's all digital that they're working on. So, the future is blockchain. Does everyone know what blockchain is? First time I heard about blockchain, I thought it was one of those chains you put in the bath and it unblocks the water. Basically, my understanding of this is very primitive. I don't be an expert. But blockchain will benefit you. It will change your world. You know, biometrics, file storage, the way in which you can do payments. You know, now there are challenger banks that have, I've got a product called Revolut, for example. Anyone heard of Revolut before? A Revolut card can give you a bank account in any country in less than 30 seconds. Not applicable? Yet. But the point of it is it's coming. All the challenges to traditional methods are coming. And blockchain is part of that future. How does blockchain work for your business? Stop asking the question, how does it affect my business? How does it work for your business? Now, I'm not talking about Bitcoin and just cryptocurrency. I'm talking about the whole process of what blockchain is going to bring to the future. So I want to leave you with a few lasting messages here. Okay, from the entrepreneurship side, it's great. It's great to have you all here, and I know for the youth of Albania, we want you to be inspired, and we want you to go out and disrupt and do different things. But we do this with purpose, do that with intensity, not because we're telling you, it's because you want to. Understand that anything that you want in life, it's not about just going out and trying to get it. You've got to reverse engineer where you are today. But for whether you are starting up or you're an established or corporation, if you do not embrace digital transformation, you risk dying away. 85% of your customer is no longer going to connect with you in a one-to-one human level. We are moving forward. Robotics, AI, augmented reality, it's all coming. If a man can go out there and decide to create babies with robots, imagine what you could do if you transform your business digitally. Thank you very much.